of the border, a few dirt miles from the main road. We were firing up the dance floor when you walked through that door. Now I'm losing my cool and I know that you know it. Fever is streaming, it feels like I'm flowing. We're flying, I ain't lying, I'm all yours.
Welcome national country artist Angie K to the Trout Show. Born in El Salvador and raised in Georgia, she's shaking up Nashville with her fresh blend of modern country, raw storytelling, powerhouse vocals, and that signature Latin twist. You'll hear bilingual lyrics, flamenco guitar, and even a little reggaeton groove mixed into her sound. We're talking her journey, her latest album Whiskey and Hemingway, and what it's like breaking new ground in country music. Stick around for a great conversation with Angie K. Now here's the Trout with Angie. Enjoy.
Is it the desert heat? Is it your eyes on mine? Is it the feeling of your body on this summer night? The way you're dancing, give me a second. Ooh, my, you got me sweating.
Let's talk about you and your beginnings. I appreciate the fact that let's see, which one of your parents was born in New Mexico?
Yeah, my mom.
Your mom and your dad is from where?
My dad's from El Salvador.
El Salvador. Were you born in the States or were you born in El Salvador?
In El Salvador.
Okay. And how old were you when you came to America?
I was 11.
Okay. So you've been here. Had you already learned how to speak English?
Yeah, I spoke them both growing up. So.
Okay. So because I think, and I did read something about your bio, your parents were involved with country music a lot, and that's probably what got you turned on to it, obviously. I like the things about people that are unique, and yours is unique from the standpoint, obviously your background, your cultural background is different, but more important to me is like all the things you did to try to make it. Like I saw where you worked on a cruise ship for a while.
Oh yeah, that was really fun.
So tell me a little bit of what was the gig like there? Were you just doing a solo act? Were you joining somebody?
Yeah, it was really fun actually. So I'd only played like dive bars before that point, and I told them I knew 300 songs. I knew like 50. And I like went to Guitar Center. I took out my first credit card, got my first real guitar when I got that job, and I like showed up not thinking there'd be more than one ship. So I even tried to get on the wrong ship at first, and then finally got on the right ship, and I get on, and like it went from like working minimum wage, working really hard, trying to figure out how to, just to make rent, to like rent's covered, food's done, someone makes your bed every other day. Like it was like insane. And all I had to do was work 4 hour work, quote unquote. And I just had to like party with people that were vacationing. It was really fun. And I would take it tomorrow if I had a long enough block where I could just block it off and go on a cruise ship. But I always have some kind of show I want to stay in the States for. But I honestly, I really give that was my big break, I would say, is that.
Well, and the great thing about it is you're around people all the time. It's kind of like these blues cruises, and people go on those, they get asked to go on a cruise like that where you're the artist with the other artists. But the thing about it is when you're famous, so to speak, and you go on something like that, you can't be down. You can't be off, because when people see you out of your room, you got to be friendly and, dressed up. You can't look like you just rolled out of bed because they want to talk to you. So I imagine when you're doing the cruise thing, people see you, then they come up and they start talking to you, and you have all the people that can visit with you.
Yeah,
have you found
a lot of them are still the people that come to my shows today.
That's what I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you, people that you met then are still coming to your shows.
Yeah, no, they're still coming.
And that's, sometimes you make lifelong friends in this thing. It's kind of weird, and they just stay with you through your whole career. How many, I noticed that I was looking at one of your videos. I think it's the latest one. Oh, the tiny desk thing. Mm-hmm. Tell me about that. I see a lot of people doing that. Tell me what that's about. I've seen people do it, but what is it? The NPR contacts you and says they want you to do a tiny desk thing, or how does that work?
No, it's a contest. Well, it's really, the NPR Tiny Desk is like a segment, a radio segment, where they bring in really big artists like Justin Timberlake level artists come in and they do a stripped live version of their songs. And it's funny because they'll cram all these people in and there's a tiny desk there and that's how they record it. And so it just became the NPR Tiny Desk Show or whatever segment. And so then they one day decided to do a contest for like an unsigned artist like out there, put your music out there and use like enter it in, and then it was like exploded, I guess. And what's really cool about it is it's a contest and there's a winner, but it really it's about like enjoying the fact that I get to discover a lot of new artists kind of doing that, you know?
Hmm. Where does it take place?
It's an online contest.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, what I mean, when you went and performed with the other two people, where did
That
you go to do that?
I just recorded that.
Oh, so you did it on your own.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I've seen some of the ones, the big names come in, I'm going, why are they all crammed into this little bitty office or something like that? Or,
It's kind of like the vibe of the whole thing, yeah.
okay, yeah, yeah. And that guitar, and I noticed, were you playing a Martin in that? I think you were playing a Martin. Were you playing a
Yeah,
Martin?
that was I think probably my Rhodes series or D15. I don't know which one I used for that, but yeah.
So you mentioned earlier you used your money to buy a really good guitar. What did you buy when you got your cruise money?
Oh, it wasn't a great guitar. It was a guitar that had an electric pickup because up to that point I didn't have
Ah,
one. And so that one was a Seagull, which I think are a great value for the money. And I used that Seagull for a long time. The electronics kind of tended to go bad a little bit, but I was in this salty air every day. So it doesn't really do any favors to electronics.
no.
Right now I'm actually really enjoying the new Yamaha series. It's a FSX3.
Hmm.
I I feel like it sounds like a $4,000 Martin and it's like a $1,200 guitar. But that's what I'm obsessed with right now.
Is it standard by, I mean, it's not a smaller one like for just for recording. It's like a big standard acoustic size, right? When you just talked about.
You can get there's two different versions of it. There's like
Okay.
a smaller body and then there's a proper dreadnought. But honestly, the sound, I don't know why. Usually, like with the Martin, you can tell a massive difference between the sound just unplugged, whether it's a bigger body or a smaller body. On these ones, the difference, you could barely hear it. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I have a Takamine that it's not really for playing, it's smaller. But I bought it because actually somebody else bought it for me and they said there was a guitar show and he says, "Hey, do you want to try this guitar?" But the pickups are so good on it. They sound so sweet when you plug it in that I used to play that all the time live. I do occasionally use it for recording, but to sit down and play it, and I have other ones to do that, but I mean, but I had a friend, this years ago, had a friend in college that had a Martin, and that's when I fell in love with him. I go, oh my God, it's like, now I know why everybody plays these things that are 60 or 80 or 100 years old now, they're still playing Martins.
Well, they're
And a lot
really
of people,
warm.
they're
Yeah.
very warm, and other people like Taylor, which is kind of the same up there at the same time. You're getting ready to release a new tune pretty soon. I was reading. Is that am I making that up in my head,
No,
or
no,
did
no.
I
So
say that?
I just released the third single from this upcoming record,
Okay.
and then the full record comes out June 26th.
And what was the tune called? The one you just released?
Contigo.
Contigo. Okay. And what's the album called?
Whiskey and Hemingway.
Okay, I did see that. I did see that. Are you doing all? I know you work with the PR firm, but do you have other people that can book you across wherever you want to go? I mean, do you have to do a lot of stuff on your own, like social media? You have to do a lot of that, or you have other people can help you out?
Yeah, I mean, I'm an independent artist, so I do a lot of things on my own, but I've been doing it for a long time, so
Yeah.
it's not the hard part is creating. Everything else is just logistics.
Well, I think the hardest thing people don't understand. When I talk to artists, they're independent, which I do a lot. And you're out every day, and let's say you're walking down the street, or oh, hey, we're getting ready to do a gig in whatever town. You have to edit, you have to do it and then edit it and do all that stuff and upload it. It takes time and it
Yeah,
takes
I
work
mean,
to
well,
do
it's a
that.
job.
It's a job.
Yeah.
So what are your plans to support the album?
Well, like, what's my marketing plan?
Well, no, no, no. So how many songs on the how many have you got all the songs recorded that's going to be on the album?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, the album's
So
done.
you're releasing, which everybody does now, singles at a time. And when will you be finished releasing all the ones that are on the album?
So this will be my fourth single, and then the
Okay.
full album comes out June 26th.
Okay. Yeah.
So like
Okay.
I just put out the third single, and then the full album comes out with the focus track. That would be the fourth technical single. Yeah.
Are you doing any vinyl? A lot of people are doing vinyl now.
Yeah, I love vinyl.
And any CDs? I know they're big over in Europe still, but
Yeah, no, I still do CDs.
where do you you're on tour. What I mean, are you going to do a summer tour, I guess is what I'm asking. Or I know you just got through saying you don't have time to do it. You must be doing a tour. I didn't look to see where you're touring. I usually
Yeah,
look at
no, I
everybody's tour
tour full
page.
time. Yeah.
That's all you do.
Yeah, that's most of
So
what I
do you
do.
do it a lot in Nashville, or do you try to go different places? I assume you travel a lot.
Yeah, no, I mostly play outside of Nashville, I would say.
Okay. And how has the? I noticed that you had quite a few followers. So you've built. I mean, you've been doing it for a while. I understand that. And you're building up your fan base. Do you get people that come up to you that travel a long ways to come see you? And they'll say, I'm from Spokane or I'm from Bangor, Maine or wherever.
Yeah, yeah, I mean that's part of it. I mean I just played a sold out show in El Salvador and like 20% of the crowd flew in from the United States to see me there. So, yeah, it was pretty fun.
Well, and I did see where you started the Country Latin Association. Is there enough artists to be involved in that in Nashville?
There's too many.
Really?
Oh yeah, there's just an overwhelming amount. I don't know why they're not more in the same algorithm as all the other artists, but that was why I started. I was like, there's so many. It's crazy.
Well, and I think the thing about it is you can get together and talk about what it's like and you're kind of a cultural thing, and then you blend what you're doing with your music. You got kind of a, that life like the one you just mentioned, the song, and everybody else is struggling, and you kind of have a club there where you can talk about it, because the fact is, people don't, at least I don't think of Latin artists in Nashville. It's not one of the things, but like you said, there's a lot of, but a lot of them could be not famous. I mean, good Lord, there's so many people that play in Nashville that could be anything, and you never know,
Yeah, I
where
mean,
they're,
the fifth highest selling country artist is a regional Mexican artist. His name is Karin Leon, and he's on the charts. But just because we haven't heard of him doesn't mean he's not extraordinarily successful. So it's more just like, I don't know, just people like different things. You don't know if you like it unless you see it. So, like, that's the beauty of, having a place where people are gathering and supporting each other is that we become a louder voice all together, and then you kind of break through these walls that kind of existed for no reason to start with, and then
right.
everybody's all of a sudden watching the same thing. I always say, like, the difference between something impossible and something obvious is just somebody doing it.
Yeah. Well, I've always said that people like you, maybe people are bigots and they racist about who they listen to. I just listen to music. The name is secondary to me or where they're from. I don't really care. Aren't you going on a tour this fall, opening up for somebody?
Yeah, a couple
Okay.
people. Yeah,
Were you doing something with the Brooks and Dunn, or who did I
yeah,
see that you were? Okay.
yeah. That's one of the. I'm on their tour.
And how many dates do you get to go with them?
I'm doing 3 dates: Oklahoma City, Kansas City, and Moline, Illinois.
Okay. My old hometown, Kansas City, before I moved back to Texas. How do you get a gig like that? Just curious.
I always tell everybody the same thing. It's like you just stay in the game and you get lucky. It's really how it works, And I mean, the story is long. It's a bunch of like random connections, and then it all came together the right way.
Well, and a lot of it too anymore, I've asked people that if you want to open for a show, sometimes they just want money up front. It used to be if you got to open, that was great because you were at the B or the C act. But now it's become more and more people, well, I shouldn't say more and more, quite a few people I talk to, oh yeah, they'll let you open if you give them the money to open for them. So,
Yeah, I
but
mean that's
this,
more a label deal thing. People with
yeah.
labels can sometimes do that. Yeah.
Well, this is have you toured with them before?
No.
And I'm always curious, how do they just tell you how much time you have and you just put your own set together? That's pretty much what happens.
Yeah, it's pretty free. It's pretty nice. Yeah.
And they've been around for a while. And who else have you been on tour with? I know you had some other big names that you worked with.
Yeah. Jake was probably the first one. Jake Owen. He was amazing. He took me on. He did a tour of ballparks around the country. It was really fun. But that was my first one, and it was really cool because I knew a lot of his team, so it felt like a family on the road. So I got really lucky that I had such a friendly first artist to tour with like that. That was really fun.
Well, it's kind of like when you were on The Voice. You get to hang around with. First off, you get to see a TV show that's a big production, and you get to see all the money getting spent on this. And it's all Then you get to hang around with people that are there. I mean, at least you get to meet them. And I'm sure when you were on the team, they take you in and they try to help you, which I assume would help you the rest of your career, listening to those people, because they're all famous. They may not be your genre, but they still know how to do what they need to do. And and Blake's one of those people that everybody says he's a nice guy. It's kind of like everybody tells me that they meet Vince Gill. Vince Gill is a nice guy. He's, not pretentious. They say he's good to be around. But I think that's just the country atmosphere in general, that it has that nice attitude about it. And I learned that when I was at Muscle Shows about 4 years ago recording. And my friend was showing me all the people that were there, and the guy I was doing some recording, he had written a lot of famous songs at his studio. He was a producer. And then I got to meet a lot of them, and I went, these are all nice. Of course, I'm from the South, which of course makes a difference too. But it was like, oh, okay, this is the way it is. And I think that's when I learned that you're not competing with anybody, you're competing with yourself. And everybody else is trying to do the same. Yeah, some people are at the 1% level, but they have to still keep going too. Let's talk a little bit about your songwriting process. Are you a guitar player writing songs, or are you a piano player? I'm just curious. I was interested how people start out the process.
I try to start things in different ways. I would say most of the time now I kind of have like a really long titles and idea list on my phone on like the notes. So usually at the beginning of a session, because I'm the artist in the room, I always think it's really important to come up with at least 3 or 4 really good ideas specifically for the people in that room. And that cuts down a lot on the amount of writes I have to do. I feel like I can get really good songs I want on my records with less writes because I'm really intentional about every write. Like I asked specific people for a reason depending on what I'm trying to create that day.
Right.
So I always have a lot of ideas, and we usually start off with that. Sometimes when I'm kind of wanting to do something a little more funky or inspired, I'll stay off the instrument because I think that my mind can create more freely without the constraints of playing. But I would say it's like 50-50. Sometimes I get excited and I just grab the guitar and you start laying it down.
I try to tell people that if they ask how the songwriting process is, nobody understands it. Even artists, we don't understand. It's just like you get these ideas, and start putting things together. Then when you're finished recording everything, you go, I don't know how that came from, from wherever you want to believe it comes from. It's a gift or whatever, and you just put it down. And I always tell people the hardest thing for an artist is when they go in and try. You hear all this stuff, and I'm sure you want to hear everything in your head and trying to tell everybody in the room what you want to convey it. Which, by the way, the tiny disc that I watched, the gentleman that was playing guitar, he was a great guitar player.
One of the best in the city, without a question. His name's Luke Nias.
He was. Who was the drummer?
That was Megan Jane.
She's
okay. Fantastic too.
Because when he started out and come from Texas and Hispanic, and I've written some songs that are kind of Spanish-like, and I heard his little ditty at the beginning. I went, oh, he's done this a lot. I mean, he knows what he's doing. He's a great player. So when you go on tour, do you take a band with you?
Depends on the show.
And do you like playing with a band most of the time or not?
Yeah, it just depends. I mean, I'm a musician first, so like I kind of engineer. I just enjoy any kind of gig that has a little bit of a challenge to it is something that I really like. I like building sets. I like if I have the challenge of just being acoustic up there, maybe using a loop pedal, trying different things, and like I like the challenge of it all. And when I have the band, I like to do specific things too. So it's like any chance I have to get up on stage is a fun day for me.
One of the things I've always admired about people is when if you can walk on stage with an acoustic guitar and that's it, and hold the interest of everybody. I like that. I love seeing that when people do that.
Yeah, same
Because
goes for a
that
song. Like if a song can't hold its own acoustic, it could be better.
true. And do you have people now that because you've been doing it for a while come up and ask you for they know your songs, they sing with you yet? Have they been doing that
Oh
before?
yeah.
I think that's one of the most wonderful things to hear people sing a song you're out there playing and people start singing the song back and you're like,
No greater gift.
no, no. And you got, I guess it's okay. People like it that much they're singing with it because they know they've listened to it for a few times. Do you have any desire to eventually be on a big label, or you kind of see yourself being an independent for a long time or for the rest of your career?
Oh, I mean, I think it's like asking if I'd ever want a loan. It's like, well, if I need one, that sounds like an incredible offer, but it depends on the terms of the deal. Like there's a million different kinds of label deals.
Yeah,
And at the end of the day, it just depends on if you find a partner that has the same vision you do and believes that they can help you get there. And if you have that, I think it's the greatest thing in the world. But finding someone that really aligns with your vision, that's the hard part.
yeah. Well, that's very difficult because labels want to change people. I've never understood that, but they have their idea, and I don't think there's any A&R people that go out and listen to people anymore. I just think they watch TikTok or they watch Instagram, and their philosophy is, well, when you have a million people following you, call us, we'll talk to you. And it's like, well, if I have a lot of people, why do I need you? I mean, it's nice to have the money behind you, but then you're in the situation. I mean, there's always some pluses and minuses of being independent. And I think what's happened in the industry because of digital recording and streaming has forced people to become more independent so they can. And the fact that since you can't sell a product per se except merch, you have to do it to get out. You have to be on tour all the time. Like you said, you're doing it because if you're not making any money. And it doesn't matter if you're a big name or not. If you're not on tour, you're not making any money. And I mean, unless you've got a catalog of music, obviously.
I think there's a lot of ways to do it, and I really strongly kind of don't believe in any. Here's an example. Right now, everyone else is chasing virality, when the real question should be the puzzle we should be solving is how do I not need to go viral?
Hmm.
And I feel like I solved that by really hyper serving my community, and that's why I'm able to sell out shows and get people through the door. And I don't have to stress. If I go viral, that's wonderful, and I
Yeah.
post every day, and I still do all those things. But if it gets 12 views, I'm just as happy. So like I think that when people feel really unhappy with the way things change, I always just try to reframe the question. It's like, well, maybe you're working on this puzzle so hard to go viral when the puzzle should be how do I engineer my life to not have to and still make a lot of money and play music?
That's
If
very
yeah,
smart.
yeah. Or if it's like I tell artists this all the time, like if you don't like to go on the road, you can solve that, but you can't solve it backwards. You can't solve it like I don't know, like deciding if you believe the truth is you have to be on the road, you're never going to solve the problem for the life you actually want. And I think there's ways to do that. It's just you got to be creative. And what's really beautiful right now is even though we maybe don't have you know a lot of things we used to, we do have access to people. And if you focus too hard on the people you don't have in front of you, you lose the ones that you do. And
Hmm.
it's like if you really focus on the people in front of you and what you have in front of you and work with that every day and grow that and never stop paying attention to that, you can build whatever life you want. Like one of my favorite books I read was The Art of Asking. And in it, she said something like, if you love people, they'll give you everything. And I think that's beautiful. But if you love someone, you have to give them everything, you know?
It's true.
So it's like, it's two ways. You can't expect the world from a community that you give nothing to, you know?
I like your philosophy because everybody wants to go viral, but nobody knows how. They know how, but they don't have the money to do it. I mean,
Well,
you know,
there's the how is just consistency, and
yeah,
you have to release expectation to be consistent. Because if like you post every day for a year and nothing happens, you're gonna stop. But if you post every day for a year and focus on the people, the one view that turned into a $10 album sale, that turned into a $100 VIP ticket, if you focus on that, you're gonna stay consistent. But if you focus only on the only barometric success is 20 million views on a video, you're going to stop. And like, that's what I said. Like the key to success isn't the map. It's staying in the game and then you get lucky. But the staying in the game is really freaking hard sometimes because you have to believe it's possible. And when you do the same thing over and over again, you have to take a step back and have to think like, is there a way I can do this smarter? I always say like, nobody cares how hard you work smart. Like I wish I had heard that when I was younger because I thought like, oh, I'm just going to work so hard. It's like the world isn't a meritocracy. And thank goodness it isn't, because the reality is we were born with so much privilege living in this country. Like the fact that I am in the city that makes country music and I didn't need a passport to do it. You know, like I live here, I'm from here. Like there's so much that was given to me. So like already I'm ahead of the game. So like
yeah.
you have to be able to access gratitude to stay in the game. And if you can't access it, there's too many things that can go wrong that we can focus on that will get you out of the game. And the truth is like the mental ability to see things as a new problem that's exciting to solve. That's not just like success, that's happiness, you know,
Yeah.
for me at least.
I can see why your fan base likes you so much.
I like them. We party together. That's why I
Well,
don't
what
like
I'm,
to do the, city.
yeah,
I like to have a show and then the day before do a big meetup and the day after have like, I don't know, like tell them my favorite restaurants I've tried so far. Like I like to make it so that people can meet each other and hang out because it's like, I don't like the city model. I think it's boring. I don't want to just like show up and only see the inside of the back of a amphitheater. That's so boring, you know?
and then when you go out on tour with Brooks and Dunn, is it in the fall?
Yeah, that's in the fall. Yeah, no, everything's done. I've finished the record and it's coming out June 26th.
And so, and how many albums have you done?
This is my fifth record.
Okay, how do you feel about it?
I love it. I'm really excited about it. It's fun to get the songs out because there's always a quite a wait after you get the song done in the studio and then mixed and mastered. And so by the time it comes out, you're really excited to share it.
Do you believe that you've gotten better every album?
Yeah, in different ways though, because I always want to challenge myself in different ways. So like this record, I decided I wanted to handpick the players. I had Hop from Zach Brown Band produce, and I had a mentor me too, so that for the next record, I'm able to produce for the first time on my own. So I learned a lot of different things. I didn't want to overdub anything. That was my big challenge on this
Really?
one. I didn't want to overdub any music. Of course, I was going to do the vocals on another session, but
Sure.
I did force that so that I would spend a lot more time charting and organizing and knowing what I was going to tell the players and talking about mood, talking about crescendo, decrescendo, stops, beats, behind the beats, kind of stuff like that. And yeah, it forced me to be a lot more organized and a lot more intentional. And it was great. But it was also the first time I had done that. So I take it and I like, it's the same as like, the mechanic in me of like, okay, now I've got these tools in my toolbox. I can't wait to see what I can make now, you know?
You sound like a very organized person.
I wish you could see my studio right now because it was a mess.
Well, that's different.
Yeah.
That's always different.
So many
It's like,
instruments just strewn about.
oh no, that's not. That's different. Who do you think you take after more, your mom or your dad?
Honestly, both. Like, I definitely, as stubborn as my mom and my dad, definitely has a great decision-making ability, and I appreciate that about him. Yeah, no, I have a really good family, and I think the older I get, the more grateful I am that I had parents that showed up and cared even though this was not their first choice in career for me. They
Oh, no, no,
they
no.
always supported me. Yeah.
Wish you much success as you continue your career. Okay?
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Have a good afternoon. You take care.
Too.
All right, see you. Bye-bye.